Let me start off this video by saying that I'm fully aware that Joey Graceffa is straighter than my nose. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the story of how I almost got a nose job. Also, Stefan is sleeping in his crib, so I don't want to be too loud, but like loud enough so you can hear me, because I do notice that my videos are pretty quiet, so we're gonna attempt to be louder. So this story begins, it's kind of a long one, so I'm gonna try to like not take too long explaining little parts. But anyways, so taking back to grade 8, so about 4.5 years ago, I was in gym class because in middle school it is mandatory you take freaking gym class. So anyways, I was in it, and that day we had options as to which stupid sports you could be playing. Now, I was the kid that hated gym class, not because you had to like get off your ass and like do something, but simply because it was dumb. Like, everybody was over competitive, everybody hit each other all the time, and like I hated that class. So I never wanted to do anything, and so anyways, so that day I think the stupid options were like hockey, basketball, and volleyball. What? So obviously I wasn't gonna go play hockey. I was not feeling basketball, and most of the people wanted to play volleyball. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna say volleyball. Lots of people, maybe there's a chance I won't get a turn to play. Okay, so it was like a decent sized gym. So there was, I think, 5 nets lined up. So I think I was on the second net. On like, if the gym was like, if this was the net and there's on that side, I was on this side of the net. And at this particular moment, I wasn't playing. I was just kind of off, and I was standing behind the people that were playing. I think there was like 6 on the court or whatever. So I was just off, and I was just like talking to people or eavesdropping or whatever I was doing. So I'm standing there, and I'm kind of not looking straight at the court. I'm just kind of off to the side, and I'm like talking or whatever, not paying attention at all. Now, you would think that in this second somebody would say heads up or whatever, and I'm sure you're anticipating that the ball from the net I was supposed to be playing on coming. No. The bitch on the 5th net spiked a ball. It kept flying towards me. I don't know how the hell I didn't notice it, as I was kind of facing in this direction anyways. But split second, it's in front of my face, and I like turn slightly and I see it and hit me in the face. I was so pissed, but I didn't think anything of it because, you know, shit like that happens all the time. So I was like, whatever. So the girl comes running over. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, whatever, like, get out of my space. I wasn't that much of a bitch, I promise. It's just, I was just not having it that day. I was like, whatever. So the teacher runs over. She's like, are you okay? I'm like, whatever. So I go to the office. I get up. I'm like, I'm going to get ice. So I go to the office. I go to the secretary, which is one of the biggest bitches on this planet. I hate her so much, and so does everybody else. She's so rude and just so disrespectful towards every human I've ever seen her interact with. So anyways, I was like, can I have some ice, please? She goes, why? I'm like, I was just smoked in the face. May I please have some ice? She goes, okay. So she gets up and like goes and gets it from the staff room, and I'm just like, whatever. So I get it, put it on my face, I go back to the gym class, and I sit there, and I'm not moving, like I'm not doing anything. So then like the bell goes or whatever, and like we go change, and then I go to my next class, which was art, and the teacher was like, you know, like your face looks pretty swollen, like maybe you should go and you know, to the ER that night and see if everything's okay. At this point I'm freaking out because I did not think it looked that bad. I didn't think it was that swollen, like it didn't bleed or anything. It just was tender and like it hurt, but she's like, you know, it's really swollen, like you should go and check it out. So at that point I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, my face is done, like we're done, my face is gone. So that night I take my mom and we go to the emergency room, and like 3 or 4 hours later we finally get in. The doctor comes in, he's like assessing my face, and he goes, yeah, no, like everything's okay, like it's fine. The swelling is causing your nose to be off to the side. I don't know. So he's like, as soon as the swelling goes off, your nose will go back to the center and the way it was. So I'm like, great, wonderful. There's nothing wrong. It's just like a big bruise on my face. So months go by, and my nose is still crooked as heck. Okay, it's still off to the side. I believe it's off to the side, right? Yeah, as you can see, like, it's off to the side. So it's still not straight. So I'm like, what the hell? So then we go to my family doctor. And we're like, hey homie, like, this doctor told me that my nose was gonna go back after the swelling was off, like, came off, and it did, the swelling, but my nose was still crooked. He's like, okay, like, I'll send you to a specialist. The specialist took, I want to say, like, a year. Okay. So this specialist, I kid you not, took like a year or maybe even longer to get in just to see. And this was at the Children's Hospital, so, because, you know, I was under 18, I'm still under 18, but yeah. So we go in to see them. They stick like a camera up my nose to see what was happening, and, oh, what is this called? This bone. I can't remember, but this bone is crooked, okay, and he can see that. You can see that just without a camera. But, you know, he's telling me, like, he's pulling this camera up, like, he's looking, and it was gross because, like, it went into my throat. It was disgusting. But anyways, he does all of that, and then goes outside to, I guess, communicate with the nurses and whoever. Then he comes back and goes, yeah, so you did have a broken nose. 2 years later, they tell me I have a broken nose. Or that it was. I was so angry. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I've seen a doctor. He told me everything's fine. No, my nose was broken. It broke. This bitch broke my nose. Anyways, so I told him, I was like, you know, people make fun of me hardcore because of this. I've been called a bird. I've been called, you freaking name it, I've been called it. I'm so insecure about it. In any photos, you know, it's constantly crooked. My freaking family comments on it all the time. You know, it's a very big insecurity of mine, and it is, I'm like talking with my charging phone. It is getting in my way, and I hate it. And I hate it. Like, I'm so insecure about when people look at me from the side, you know, because, anyways. So he's like, alright, like, I can refer you and we will get it fixed. We'll do surgery. I'm like, great, yes, heck yeah. So I'm so excited. I got my surgery, or I got it approved. So a couple months later, my best friend and I drove up to see my family doctor, and my mom was meeting us there. I think this was regarding birth control, actually. I was getting the Mirena, like, I was getting the prescription for it. Whatever, off topic. So we're driving back, and my mom calls me, and she's like, the office called, and we booked your surgery. Tears start pouring down my face. I'm like, oh my god. So February 28th was my scheduled date of 2015. Was a scheduled time that I was supposed to get this surgery. I'm like, oh my god. Like, at this point, I am terrified. I am so scared. And mind you, I've seen Megan Rinks, her Vlogmas, where she got her nose job. Oh my god. So I'm like terrified. I believe that was honestly the Vlogmas, like, right before it, or maybe the one before that. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what happened. So anyways, I'm like crying all the way home. I'm like, I can't believe this, like, I'm so scared, it's so soon, you know, this was like in a couple weeks. I'm so scared, like, I can't believe this. So anyways, I get home and I keep crying and crying. My mom's like, why the hell are you so emotional? Like, it's whatever. I'm like, no mom, like, I'm so scared. She's like, just drop it, like, you're such a drama queen, oh my god. Like, oh my god, this woman doesn't understand me, I am so scared. So whatever. Yada yada, a couple of weeks go by. I tell all of my teachers that I'm going to be gone for a month recovering from my surgery because I wasn't going to go to school with bruises on my face. I didn't know for a fact that my doctors did not tell me that for a fact it was going to take 4 weeks for you to fully recover. That's just, I was going off of Megan's Vlogmas because that's how long she was recovering. So I'm like, okay, that's how long I'm going to take off. So I told my work, I booked that time off. I told school, like, I got all these worksheets, I got, like, everything. I got Everything. My whole life was put on hold for a month because I was going to be in bed recovering from my surgery. Okay, so the night before, the 27th, right? I think it was honestly either the 26th or the 28th that I had my surgery booked. But the day before, the night before, like we had school, and then my boyfriend and I, at the time, were gonna hang out. And this was Stefan's dad. Like, I didn't have a million boyfriends, okay? So this was Stefan's dad. He was over, and we were just like, he was doing homework or whatever, but I just, you know, I told him that I wasn't gonna see you for like 3 weeks, or like a month, so come hang out with me before my surgery. And so he did, and you know, he had homework and he was doing it, whatever. And then he didn't have a car at the time because he freaking crashed it because he's an idiot. Anyways, so I would like pick him up. Well, from school we came straight here, but then I would have to go and drop him off. But he drove it back to his house, my truck. And as we were driving, like, it's honestly like a 3-minute drive, and then you have to like cross a bridge to get to his house. So he's driving, and a Taylor Swift song comes on. Style, I think it was, Taylor Swift Style. And I start bawling. He is driving my truck, and I am in the passenger seat bawling to Taylor Swift. Oh my god, I'm bawling because I'm so terrified. I'm so terrified of the surgery. I'm so scared that they're gonna break my freaking face and I'm just gonna look like a zombie for the next month. I was so terrified. So he spent maybe an hour sitting there like calming me down and telling me it's gonna be okay, like it's fine. I was like, okay, like, alright. So I go home, and earlier that day, then the office called my mom and told them that I'm able to drink juice and water up until 8:30 the next morning. I can't eat. I can eat up to midnight, and then I can drink juice and water up until 8:30, I believe. So I was eating literally up to 11:59. I was eating, and then I went to sleep, and then I was drinking. I think I had maybe 3 glasses of orange juice up until 8:30. I got dressed in this like comfy clothes that you can just rip off and whatever. Didn't have my contacts and I had my glasses on and whatever. So we get in the car and we're ready to go. I'm still freaking out. I'm like scared, but a little more calm at this point. And like I'm getting texts from a couple people that know, because everybody at school had no idea that I was getting surgery. People that like in dance class, I told them, or my friend told them that I was going to like I was going for a vacation for a month, so I wasn't going to be at school, but nobody knew that I was getting surgery. Nobody. So I was just kind of up and left, and nobody knew why. So anyways, we're driving to this hospital. It's like far, and we get there, we check in, like yada yada. I get my bed, and I change, and we're laying there, and then the nurse comes in, and she's like, okay, so like here, like, you know, standard procedure of questions you had to ask me. Like, do you have any medical conditions, like blah blah. When did you eat last? I said midnight, or like I stopped at midnight. When did you drink last? 8:30. She's like, what did you drink? Orange juice with pulp. I go, yes. So she goes, okay. So she puts her pen on her clipboard and goes to talk to her manager. And I'm like, what just happened? Like, is that a not okay substance to drink orange juice? Mind you, they told my mother that I can drink juice or water. No specifications as to what kind of juice. Just putting that out there. So, the manager and this nurse come back. They're like, so, we're going to have to postpone your surgery. You're gonna have to do what? She goes, yeah, you drank orange juice, which means that there was pulp in it, which means that your stomach is considered full, so that when we put you under the anesthetic, you could throw up and die. I start crying. My mom starts crying. I go, I put my life on hold. My life is on hold for a month. I can't just postpone my surgery. I can't do it. My mom's crying. She goes, I am a nurse. I have a busy schedule. I cannot take days off. This is the only time I have off. Like, what do you mean? So we're both like crying. Like, oh my god, mom, I can't like believe this. I can't believe this, right? So they're like, we're gonna see if we can just push your surgery to the last one of the day. Since this is a scheduled surgery, the operating room closed at like 4. So in order for me to be able to get my surgery done, or like get into the OR before it closed, I would have needed the 8-hour window where that pulp can like do its thing and go away. So that would have meant 4:30, and the OR closed at 4. So they weren't gonna take me. So they kicked us out. We come back, we talk to the doctor, to the surgeon. We're like, dude, like we have to do it today. He goes, I'm sorry, like there's nothing I can do. Oh my god, guys, oh my god, so I'm like texting my boyfriend, I'm texting everyone, like, or like 2 people, right? I'm like, oh my god, like I drink orange juice, I can't believe this. Oh my god. I'm so mad, like thinking about it, I can't believe that happened. Anyways, so we have to like now call and rebook this surgery. Now I'm thinking that I'm gonna have to wait another like 3 years to get this surgery. They're like, no, like you're just gonna take like a month or whatever. So we call, and it was scheduled for April 9th. That was the scheduled time. So mind you, now I have to like unpause my life and then pause it later again. And I don't have very good management at like my work, so they weren't, you know, they're kind of very touchy people. Like doing all of this was just gonna be a big pain in my butt. So I call my work, I say, hey, like my surgery's cancelled, like it's postponed, like did you have any shifts for me? So they told me to come in on like orientation night, or not orientation night, no, whatever night, like we were, oh my god, what is that called, like some stock night, but they were there like all night, so I had to come in and do that. But anyways, so my surgery was rescheduled. I'm going back to school, you know, everyone's not expecting, or like a few people not expecting me to see for a month, but here I am. And then now, if you guys don't know, that you're not able to get general anesthetic if you are pregnant. So, a couple weeks later, or however many weeks later, I find out that I am pregnant, which means that I cannot get this surgery. So, I have to phone and cancel my surgery, and here we are, and I still have a crooked nose. That was the story of how I almost got a nose job. Now, I was like this close. I was literally in the gown to get this damn surgery. But in a way, though, like things did work out, because if I did get the anesthetic, they didn't ask me if I was pregnant. They didn't test me at all. So, you know, I could have lost Stefan, because if I didn't drink that orange juice, I would have gotten the anesthetic and he probably would have died. So it's crazy how life works out the way it does, but that's the story, you guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and let me know if you'd like to see more Storytime videos. I'm no Shannon Rose, but I do have a couple I could tell you guys. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I will have all my social media linked below, and I also did get a Snapchat as well, so if you want to Snapchat me, it's just Barbie's Beauty. I'll put the username down below. Yeah, I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye!